Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are coming to you today with an epic unboxing. We're going to be taking a look at Star Wars Shatterpoint, the core set. We're going to unbox this. We're going to show you everything that comes inside, give you an idea of what to expect when you check out your version of Star Wars Shatterpoint. When you unbox it, this is what you're going to see. We'll go through this. We'll look at close-ups of all of the miniatures, all of the plasticky bits, all of the cards, all of the character cards, the mission cards, the stances, the terrain. We're going to look at all of that. And this is the first video in a series of videos designed to help you get started and give you some more information for Star Wars Shatterpoint. There's going to be links down in the video description below if you want to check out more for Star Wars Shatterpoint, whether you want your building diagrams, you want to take a look at those, you want rules, you want some just some more information that maybe you don't get here in this video. There's a personalized link for me down in the video description below. I want you to check that out after you're done with the video. You're going to get more information. That's also going to let Atomic Mass Games know that you heard about them here. It kind of helps the channel out a little bit. It lets them know that that we're doing a good job, that we're talking to you guys about their games. I mean, that's what I do. If you guys have been with me for a long time, you know I talk about Star Wars tabletop gaming all the time, just about every single day. So it's just a way for them to be able to see that hopefully I'm doing a pretty good job. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing open. Also, if you are new here to the channel, I'd love for you to stick around. We do all kinds of Star Wars tabletop gaming videos. We talk about Star Wars in general. Everything from like lightsabers and Hasbro reviews to Atomic Mass Games reviews, battle reports, building videos, what to buy first guides, all kinds of stuff like that. Love to have you stick around. We are currently also doing a big giveaway. If you would like to win a Star Wars Shatterpoint core set, I'm giving away a $165 Amazon gift card so you can pick up your own. And all you have to do to enter to win that is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. That is running until the beginning of June. I will be announcing the winner at the end of one of my videos at the very, very beginning of June. So when Star Wars Shatterpoint hits your retail shelves. So if you want to pre-order, you can do that at your stores. You can do that at Asmodee's store. You can check out the links in the description below. That's going to get you everything. This is a massive box, by the way. I want to pull up something. I want to give you guys an idea. So those of you who have played similar games like Star Wars Legion, you know how big some of those core set boxes are. I've got one right here. You can see how it's already much taller and much wider than a Star Wars Legion box. So just to give you an idea that this is a very, very big box. And you're getting an awful lot in here. Not only are you getting a whole army, you're getting a whole second army. Or they don't call them armies in here, but you're basically getting a whole team, a whole list, your whole build of all the heroes or villains that you're going to use on your side in this box. Plus, you're getting a whole bunch of terrain. You're getting all of this stuff. This is everything that's on the back of the box. This is all the stuff that you're getting. This is going to be a game that you're going to have to build these out. And you're going to have to paint these and all of that. So if you're a hobbyist, this is the game for you. If you're not a hobbyist, then this is a great place to start and to start learning. I will be doing videos on how to build all of these, and we'll be doing painting videos. We'll be doing like list breakdowns. We're going to be looking at the strategy behind everything, all of that. But this is just the first video. We're going to show you what comes in this box. So let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so I've got this box on the center. Now with a brand new game, sometimes there's like such a tight air gap in here. You've gotta, there we go, we got it. Okay, so we've got the inside of the box. Nothing special on the inside, but there is actually stuff you can do with this. So maybe I'll turn it this way. There we go. All right, so our first is a cover piece, and this is going to talk about the art backdrop system. So one of the cool things about a tabletop game like this is it's very picturesque. If you guys follow any of my social media accounts, there's stuff all like Discord, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. It's all down in there. Like I love to post photos of my games. Sometimes it's less about who wins or loses a game and more about who looks better doing it. And so when you are definitely like when you finish painting a miniature and you're really proud of it, maybe you want to take a photo, they're offering you some cool little backdrop things. And so you can do all of that with the box itself. Like this can become like a little shadow box where you put some of these art backdrops in here, and then you can fold this piece in or fold it this way and then take a photo of your miniature and put them right there. which is a really cool little option to be able to do. And like you can see, this whole thing can fit in there, but I can fold that down. I can shine some lights really brightly in it and have some fun with that. First off, we got a token sheet. So we've got lots of tokens. I know these are the new hunker tokens. They've been talking a lot about those. Force, I think this is like the wounds and this is the damage. And I forget, I think this is what, disarmed or... no, one of these is like, these are, I believe these are negative status effects when you either negative to your movement or negative to your ability to attack. I don't remember what these ones are just yet. I've got to go over the rules again. I mean, there's been so many gameplay videos, and with a lot of them, you're not seeing the tokens as close up. And so now that I've got it in hand, I can take a much closer look at all of these and help explain them to you guys, like what does what. Let me know in the comments too, some of your thoughts on like videos that you want to see. What is it like, maybe you want to see a breakdown of like how an activation works. Maybe you want to just see a quick, like a really detailed how to play, or more like a how to play in 5 minutes or less, stuff like that. Because I plan on doing an awful lot of content. I mean, brand new games are exciting. So we've got our credits page here, and all of that good stuff. So big thanks to everybody who helped bring us this game. Very, very cool. We've got our content list. It's going to talk about the names of all of the pieces here, breaking down a lot of photos in the rulebook and a lot of cool art in here too. And honestly, photos in a rulebook are really, really good. You've got all of these little bits where Ahsoka is giving you like a little pop-up. Oh, by the way, here's some extra things that you should know. It's very cool. I almost want to see LeVar Burton come out and do it with like make a little rainbow and say the more you know. Very cool. All right. That's our rules. We're going to read more on that here in a minute. Then we have this next section. Now, keep in mind, as I'm going through all of these, if you've seen other unboxings before, there are multiple layers to this. So if you get yours, don't worry if like you pull this out and you say, that's it. You're not done right here. There's going to be more underneath this. Okay. So first things first, we have... we've got, I believe this is all terrain. So let's start going through the terrain. I'm going to just pull out piece at a time. So this is part of a building here. This is all nice hard plastic. Very cool stuff. And I believe everything in this game is hard plastic. So you're going to be able to use the nice, like the nice plastic cement that I like to use to make them seal together nice and easily. I'll be doing videos on how to build stuff in here, so if you're brand new to gaming, that might be really helpful for you. We've got pieces of crates right here. We've got ladders. Ladders are going to be really important to this game because they're not just decorative, and they're not just narrative to give a little bit of story, but they also have rules dedicated to how you climb up ladders. They give you a tremendous advantage when trying to traverse terrain, get up on top of pieces of terrain. They give you a lot of movement advantages as opposed to trying to just jump up on terrain without the aid of a ladder. We've got some of the supports here. These are going to be some of the pieces that hold up higher elevation pieces and make our 3D battlefield really come alive. We've got more pieces of buildings here, and this is all going to be in the rules description. Again, you can check the how to build description. You're going to be able to check in the link in the description below. These, I believe, are parts of some of the gantries, parts of the terrain. There's like, there's a little astromech there. This is, I believe, the part that the little Tuka cat goes on. And here's your little Tuka cat right there. He's all happy and smiling. He or she, they are a happy Tuka cat. I don't know. I don't know much about that particular Tuka cat. We've got some more supports and ladders here. We've got gantries. I believe these are, these might be siding too, because this is slightly curved. So this might be the sides of buildings. I believe, I think these are the actual gantries. These are the walkways that the catwalk that your characters are going to do battle on and maybe get pushed off of. Objectives can go on top of these, making the fight for an objective that much more difficult. And then we've got bases here. We do have bases. I happen to have some other bases nearby. We can do some comparisons with these when we do our building video. I really want to put these right up next to some Marvel Crisis Protocol bases and some Star Wars Legion bases and give you an idea of the size of these, because you have different sizes here too. You got some large, but most of them are this kind of standard smallish size. A couple of these are larger. I think these are probably for the B1 battle droids because you have 3 on a base for those as opposed to everything else, which is, you know, just one, I think, on the base. So, so we've got, so let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 small bases, and then 2 of these, which is cool. Which is cool. All right, so that's everything that was in this first box. Everything that was in the first box. Then we're going to take this part out. We're going to go in a little bit deeper. And whoa, we got the character sprues right here. You are not done yet. You are not done yet. We've got character sprues here. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to put the... All right, to keep everything organized, I'm going to put all the building stuff back in here. Then we'll look at the character sprues. All right, so with our character sprues, we actually do have a couple more building pieces. These are the larger buildings that are in here. It looks like you're getting some real large building pieces, so you're going to have some really nice terrain. And I think that's an important thing when you think about a core set and everything that you're getting into it. Not only are you getting 2 complete forces to battle against each other, and these are full builds too. It's not like this is like a half build where you need to buy 2 core sets. I don't think there's any reason that you must buy 2 core sets. I think each person that plays will probably want their own core set, but there's enough in here for you to play against somebody else. Your friend won't even have to buy a core set to try it out with you. Although if they fall in love with the game, they're probably going to want their own, because maybe you want to play Mandalorians, maybe they want to play Mandalorians, and you can't both play all the Mandalorians unless you each have your own core set. You know, so it's going to, you know, increase your list building potential if you each have your own core set. But I don't think there's a whole lot of need for you to have 2 core sets, unless, of course, you just want extra minis to paint, and there's nothing wrong with that. Plus, you'll get extra terrain, dice, and all that other stuff in it. So that's certainly an option. But as we look in here, these sprues are all numbered. It looks like each character has their own alphabetic letter. So I think all the Anakins are A. You know, all of the Rexes are B. So these are actually look like they're fairly straightforward in how they go together. A lot of experienced modelers will probably be able to put these together without the instructions. But if you do want the instructions, links are down in the video description below. It's that Crabbok link. You want to check that link out. That is, you know, again, that's going to get you to all of the Shatterpoint information. One of the big things right there are the build instructions. So you can either print those out, you can look at them on your phone, get familiar with them before you get your core set. Also read up on the rules and all of the information out there. We do have, by the way, we do have Bo-Katan, both with her helmet and with her unhelmeted face. So you can do however you want to do Bo-Katan. I love that there's multiple build options for these. Very, very cool. You could probably even just do Bo-Katan without her helmet and then put the helmet on the ground. You can put it on the base. So maybe she took it off. She set it down so she could blast some droids, right? So you could totally do that. So you have some really cool options. We got Asajj Ventress right here with her really, really detailed belt, that flowing sash in the front. We got her dress right here. We got smoke screens coming out of Mando backpacks. Lots of really cool stuff. And we'll be putting these together. I'll do a video again, like showing how to assemble these miniatures, because some folks are going to be new to this, and I want you guys to be able to have a detailed walkthrough, a detailed helpful video to help you with not just how to put them together, but what tools you're going to need. What tools do I use? What kind of clippers? What kind of glue? What do you listen to when you're building these? I like to listen to audiobooks. I'm currently reading some Brandon Sanderson right now, and I love to put that stuff on while I'm working on miniatures. You know, really cool stuff. So we got our shield right there. I think these are the bad guys, aren't they? Are these the bad guys? No, we got clones over here. It's just a mix. We got good guys and bad guys. Those look like, is this Gar Saxon? This is Gar Saxon. There's that sniper rifle. Okay, very, very cool. And we got Gar Saxon. We got the unhelmeted and then the helmeted. For my named characters, I always like to take their helmets off, usually if I can. But sometimes the helmet's just too cool and you got to leave it on, right? So it's always a tough choice, but I usually end up... but that does mean that you have to paint the face, and faces are sometimes tricky to paint. Okay, the last bag in here, or the last large bag, is another piece of remaining terrain bits. We've got more building parts here. We've got more supports and ladders here. Oh, and we have our tools. We got our movement tool. Oh, this is all of our range. So we've got our range 5 tool here. I'll take some measurements of these, give you guys, well, we'll pull out the little the tape measure here in just a minute. We got range 5 and range 4. We got range 3. So range 5 is like blaster shots. Range 4 looks like force lightning. Like maybe that's how long some force abilities might last. You got range 3, which is how far you can throw a hut ball, for those of you who like to play. No, well, that's grenades, right? That's a thermal detonator. But I'm thinking of hut ball from Star Wars: The Old Republic. How many of you guys, anybody play Star Wars: The Old Republic by chance? And then we have range 2, which is your melee range, right? Your lightsabers. Oh, well, that's Luke's, isn't it? Wait, is that Luke? No, that might be Obi-Wan's. Obi-Wan, oh, yeah. Obi-Wan versus Anakin right there, perhaps? I'm not sure. Yeah, very, very cool. And by the way, we have these little side bits in there. I thought that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't notice this before in any of the other videos. They all have that, right? They all have those little these little indentures, and it's just here and here, here and here. That's kind of cool. All right, so those are our range, and then range 1 is going to be the width, that 1 inch kind of width. We've got the shove tool, and basically from all the gameplay videos that have come out so far, that the height of this tool really is irrelevant. It's more about the width of this tool, and they made it diagonal so you have an easier time kind of sliding it in and doing weird things and trying to fit it into places without disturbing the game state, which I thought was pretty interesting. You've got our short range and long range movement. One is for your full move, and then the other one is for your extra little dash move. And so these are going to go in like so. You're going to take these, and you're going to want to pop those in here. Boom! Oh, that went in super easy. Boom! And it goes up to a 90-degree angle on either side, and that's how you do your short move. And you're going to do the same thing with this one. You just be careful when you do these, because it is possible to break these. But this is an improvement over other ones for sure, because these went in perfectly, very, very well engineered. Love that. Super, super clean and super easy to assemble. We just did it right in front of your eyes. First try. I mean, I'm not even cutting that. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Okay, and we've got one more piece of buildings. A lot of really cool build, like in the paneling and all of these little diodes and stuff. You're gonna have fun painting terrain too. And if you've never painted before, you can always start with terrain. It's the most forgiving stuff, because people are usually looking at the miniatures first. So if you make a mistake on the terrain, just cover it up and just be like, that's just wear and tear on the building, right? Like, it's really, really cool. So I love that there's terrain in here. It makes for a really, really easy starting place for priming and painting some of your first miniatures. If you don't want to start on like Darth Maul, you can start on a crate or the Tuka Cat, or even on some of the bases first, and then work your way. And that's all going to go into the painting videos, and we do more videos on this. Very, very cool stuff. We have a little bit more though. Let's go underneath. We've got more stuff. We've got dice. We've seen these, right? We've seen these in the gameplay videos. The squares, the D6s, are our defense dice. D8s, or these are our attack dice right here. You've got your hits. You've got your what are these, expertise symbols? No, these are criticals. I'm sorry. These are criticals. These are hits. These are expertise, and these are misses. All right, and so expertise has a special chart. If you roll those, these can mean different things for different people. Hits are good. Criticals are really good because they're hits that can't be countered by blocks. And what are blocks? Oh, let's look at defense dice. Okay, we got our defense dice here. We got misses on those too. These are just bad. You don't want to roll these. This is expertise. Also, this can go into your defensive expertise. While it's kind of the same, slightly different from the offensive expertise, but it still means basically the same thing. You're going to reference the defensive expertise chart on your character card. You've got your regular blocks there also. Now, there's no critical blocks, but sometimes your expertise can cancel crits depending on the character, which is a really cool way to make dice work differently for different characters. Now, you're going to have 6 defense dice in here, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attack dice, which is probably all you're going to need. I personally want to get another dice bag though, because I like having lots of dice. It's also good if I'm playing against somebody, I can share dice, or I don't have to share dice. Like, here's your dice, here's my dice, so you don't have to borrow my dice when we're attacking. We're going back and forth. We got all these cubes, one clear, This one is clear right there, and we got a bunch of black cubes, and those are going to be part of our struggle. This is how we're gonna, win the game. Basically, a clear cube goes in the middle. We can build up momentum by putting black cubes on the sides, and as we do good things, we can pull that clear cube closer to my side or closer to my opponent's side. And if you pull it all the way, you score a point, and the first person to score 2, basically win 2 struggles, wins the game. So it's best 2 out of 3. And so that's what this is all for. More about that when we get into gameplay in a future video. But then we've got this, all of the cards. We're going to take a look at every one of these cards. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm going to clean up this a little bit, and we'll get a close look at these. All right. Before I pull out all the cards, too, I did promise I was going to show you guys this stuff with some measuring tape. So just real quick, the width is 1 inch. I kind of talked about that already. The range 2 is 3 inches. There we go. Range 3 is 6 inches. Range 4 is 8 inches, so slightly drops off the power curve a little bit there. It's not a 9, so it's not a steady incremental. So range 4 is 8 inches. Range 5 is 10 inches. Range 5 is 10 inches. That's pretty much exact. So those of you who may have been a little curious about that, there you go. The shove tool, the width is 1 inch. There we go. Even though it might not look like it because it's sideways. And I don't think you need the length of this at all, because it ends up being like 6 and 5/8 from tip to tip, kinda, or 6 and 9/16 or something like that. So I don't think you need that actual part. It's really just about that width and getting in there and saying you push them that far away. All right, now our long range move is a little tougher to measure because it's a little curved on this side, but we're gonna do our best. That one is about 6 inches. Yeah, I'd say if we're going from the edges, not from the center of the interior curve there, then that one is just at about 6 inches. So it looks like a long move is 6 inches, and then our short move. I'm guessing 3. Oh, wait, no, this one's a little more than 3. That one, it looks like it's 3 3/8. Oh, maybe 3.5. Just under 3.5. I want to say 3 7/16, actually. See that? Yeah. It's that 16th right before the half. So there you go. That one's a little. That's the only one that's not like super clean and easy for me to just straight up tell you, right? So there you go. Those are all your measurements. Let's go ahead and get to the cards. All right. So first up, we have 4 different piles of cards. We've got our Shatterpoint drawing activation cards, and these are all going to have the Star Wars Shatterpoint logo on the back. This is your random element of activation throughout the game, or semi-random, because you do have some control over it. So this is part of the game that just has card art. So this is going to tell you who you activate. All right, you've got Bo-Katan, you've got Commandos, and I guess it looks like this symbol here means that it's your secondary, which is kind of cool. And it makes me think, oh, maybe they'll have a version of him that's either a support or a primary at some point. Pretty cool. Probably also helps because some people might initially think, oh, these guys kind of look similar. Are they the same? Same thing goes here. Not everybody will recognize Rex versus a other 501st Trooper. So that's actually pretty smart that they put that on there. I'm a Star Wars fan, so I'm obviously going to know that that's Rex. But that's really smart that they put that symbol on there, indicating, hey, that's the secondary. Same thing with, Clan Kryze is a little more distinguished, but still, okay. So we got Ahsoka, Bo-Katan, Clan Kryze, Anakin, Rex. We've got the 501st. We've got Maul, Lord Maul. We've got Gar Saxon. We've got Mandalorian Super Commandos, aka Mauldalorians. We've got Asajj Ventress. We've got is this Kraken or Kalani? I always get them mixed up. It's Kalani. Yeah, Kalani. All right. We've got our B1s. And then we got our Shatterpoint cards. And there's 2 of these. I believe you're only going to play with 1 in your deck, and so the idea of this is you can play this against a friend. So you and your friend can each your opponent. Maybe they're not your friend. Maybe they're your enemy in battle, but your friend after the game. But yeah, so you each have a Shatterpoint card which can activate anyone. More on that when we talk about gameplay in another video. We've also got our basically our mission. Right, we have this. This is the backs of these cards. So we have our there's only one basic mission that comes, or like scenario, called shifting priorities. This comes in the core set. This is the only one that comes in here, but they have talked about doing extra mission packs. But this is basically you're going to have this 3x3 grid where all of those objective tokens are going to go, and certain ones will light up during the game. And we have all of these cards. You have your first struggle, your second struggle, and your third struggle cards. And we'll take a look at all of those. Then we'll look at the stance cards and the actual unit cards. All right, so I'm going to start with our tier 1s, our first struggle cards for shifting priorities. Here's the first one, Steal the Secret Plans. The next one is Recon Enemy Positions. And the next one is Locate the Asset. Okay. And as you can see, they have different patterns. This one is more symmetrical. This one's a little bit more sideways to one side. This one's more sideways to the other side. So depending on where your guys are, you might like. And these are all kind of worth the same, but then they can have different values because when you get into the tier 2, because again, these guys are first struggle, right? When you get into the tier 2 versions, they're going to be slightly different, all right? So then you're going to be rolling a die, and I think this is determining which one becomes the power one. I gotta get some more some gameplays in first, and again, we'll talk more about these in our gameplay video, and which ones end up being better, and which ones you actually want to choose depending on where you are on the board, and all the strategy that goes into which one of these you're going to pick, because it could be pretty cool. This one's definitely caters more to the left side. This one's more zigzaggy. This one caters more to the front or the back. So a little bit of a different kind of setup than we've seen in the tier 1s. And now we've got the tier 3s coming out. The tier 3s are going to look a little bit like that. And the back. And then here they are. We've got Hack the Security Network. We've got Commandeer a New Ride. Not Commander, a New Ride. And then Blast Our Way Out. I really like this one because that one's completely, straight one way or the other way. It's ignoring, the extreme edges. This one's a little bit like that, but favoring a corner. And this one's just all over the place. Blast Our Way Out is a little bit more chaos. So they really done a lot with having just a 3x3 grid, making each of these feel different and making each of the phases feel distinct and different as well. And so if by knowing these and knowing what is the possibilities that are going to come out, this can help you position to where just because you lose the first struggle doesn't mean you can't potentially be positioned to win the next two very quickly, depending on where you have your guys positioned. So this is going to be kind of interesting. I can't wait to see the strategy that develops after multiple games of playing this. All right, so we've got Ahsoka Tano, Jedi No More. She's a primary unit. She's got one miniature. She comes with 8 available squad points because she's a primary. And that means she's going to be the primary. She's going to have a secondary and a support, and you can spend 8 points between them. And she's going to come with 3 force. Force in this game are basically like command points that you're going to pay to use abilities. It doesn't mean that the person has the force, even though she does. It just means that they're a primary. So primaries are going to have force. When we flip her over, this is her stuff. Oh, by the way, let's get the size of this card too, because this is 6 inches by, I would say by 4. Yeah, 6 by 4. 6 by 4. Okay, 6 inches by 4 inches for these cards. Let me get the other cards too. Your activation cards, you'd probably want to sleeve these. These are 4 3/4. 4 3/4 by 3 3/4. And I think is it the same size? Yeah, that is exactly the same size as your mission cards as well. So that's cool. But then you also it's also the same size as your stance cards. So 4 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then 6 by 4. All right. So Ahsoka has her reverse grip. She has 2 stances because she is a primary. She's going to have these 2 different stances. She's got the Form 5 Xian reverse grip, and then she's going to have the Jarkai as her more offensive one. So you'll notice this gives her 7 attack dice and 5 defense dice against both ranged attack, but she has no ranged attack, so no ranged attack dice, then 5 defense for either one of those. And this is her expertise chart. So remember we were talking about those diamond symbols. However many she rolls, you're going to look at this chart and say, oh, these are the effects she gets. Like for example, her acrobatics, she can actually turn a crit into a hit. So she can potentially cancel crits. And of course, however many hits, however many successes she has after her hits are canceled out, however many are left over, going to give you a chance to go up and down here, like damage, disarm, damage. Oh, and I can dash or move or whatever. So more about this when we get into gameplay. And in her defensive stance, she has less dice for offense. She's got 1 less, only 6 attack die, but more defense dice. And there's her chart. And there's her totally different skill tree. And so, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like you can only max out at 5 hits. If you had more than that, like say all 6 were hits, it wouldn't matter. You could actually get 7 if you rolled like exactly 1 offensive expertise, right? So like it is possible, but yeah, so any extra damage would get wasted, right? That's kind of how that works. So you're kind of capped on how much damage you can do in any given attack. I imagine it's gonna be pretty unlikely to be able to do that. To go over cap and then have stuff get wasted. All right, we've got Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan's next. She is a secondary, so she will have no force. She's not adding anything to the command pool. She counts as 4 of your squad points, and she's a secondary unit. And we've got her card here. I get 8 health, 2 wound threshold, right? She's got Pride of Mandalore, Jetpack. These are all abilities that cost you a force to use. Well, they're going to say how many force they cost to use for some of them. Some of them are like things that are just like kind of passive. So to use your active abilities, they typically cost 1 or more force. But there's some things like Pride of Mandalore. I think that one's just going to happen on its own, right? So, but a lot of this stuff is going to be referencing these keywords that are down there. You notice she's got Clan Kryze, she's Death Watch, she's Mandalorian, and Night Owls. So she's part of a lot of different teams, and so she can pair with other Clan Kryze things, which would be really cool if you eventually get like, some other Kryze family members as they do more Mandalorian stuff. That could happen. Death Watch. You definitely can see more Death Watch stuff coming. Lots more Mandalorians, right? We have plenty more in this particular set. And so she can help other Mandalorians. So you may want to team her up with other Mandos, even bad Mandos maybe. She's kind of, she could walk multiple lines. Now, since she's not a primary, she's not going to have 2 stances. So if you look on the back of her card, it's just going to be a Shatterpoint card. So she has close support. She has ranged and melee. Now, she does have 7 dice for melee. She's got a strong attack. Isn't that cool? She's got a different surge, offensive expertise chart, rather. I keep calling it surge because it's like, part of other games. Like my, the Legion player in me wants to call it surge, but it's funny. But their expertise is going to be different for ranged and melee, which is pretty cool depending on which one you're doing. And this also tells you how far that she's range 4 for her shooting there, because it's a shorter, it's not a sniper rifle, it's just her pistols, right? She's got a pretty interesting chart. She can go up and then down, or down and then up again, or down again. And then she's got her Beskar armor there for her defense. But still 7 attack dice, 6 attack dice for range, but only 4 for defense. So her defense is a little bit lighter. So there you go, that's Bo-Katan. Our Clan Kryze Mandalorians are a support. Now this right here means you're going to have 2 of them. So you're actually going to have 2 separate dudes, or 2 separate miniatures. And they are going to basically count as one. You move 2 of them around, they still kind of have a shared health pool. They have a jetpack, they have Mandalorians are stronger together, and they have a helmet visor. And they're also Mandalorian, Death Watch, Clan Kryze, and they are troopers. Here's their card. 6 for melee, 6 for range, 5 for melee, 5, 4 for defense, Beskar armor, and then their combat chart and all of that. Moving forward, we've got a very familiar guy, General Anakin Skywalker. He gets 7 points. So, I'll point out that you couldn't run General Anakin Skywalker and have him lead both Bo-Katan and Clan Kryze Mandalorians in the same you know, in the same squad, because he only has 7 points. So you'd have to make some changes. You could do, you know, a 4 and a 3, but you couldn't do a 4 and a 4. But he does have 4 force points. He's a primary unit, and he is going to have some pretty cool stuff. Let's see, where's his cards? Here we go. All right. So he's got 11 health and 3. So he's going to be really tough to actually get removed from the board. You have to go all in to try to take out Anakin Skywalker. He can force jump. I'm going to end this. Deflect. This is where the fun begins. He's 501st, Force User, Galactic Republic, and Jedi. This is good guy Anakin. He's not freaking out. He's not choking out Padme just yet. He's got Form 5 Xian. No range, but 7 for attack, 6 and 6 for defense. Oh, 66, right? Order 66. No. And then here's his stuff, and this is his combat chart. So we're going to flip this over. There's his gem. So 8. This is his more offensive one, clearly. 8 dice for attack. He's very aggressive and has a lot of damage potential. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 potential damage if you get all of these successes. So very cool stuff. He can do quite a bit. All right, let's keep going. We're going to look at Rex. And we're not even done with the good guys yet. There's bad guys too. Well, and the thing is, you can build your team however you want. You can mix good guys and bad guys. Maul could team up with Ahsoka in this one, like they almost did in the Clone Wars, right? Very cool. All right, so Captain Rex is going to count as 4 points. You know, he's going to use up 4 of your points. Secondary unit, and it's cool they have a name because he's CC 7567 Captain Rex. They could do other versions of Captain Rex too, right? So it's like I like that they have different little subtext to them. He's got a move on soldier. He's going to be doing stuff for people with the Galactic Republic. Allied clone trooper supporting units get to do stuff so he can help any clone trooper. He gets to work. You know, he has a lot of things that synergize with other clone troopers. He's 501st, a clone trooper in Galactic Republic, 9 health, and then 2 threshold. There. He's 7/7 for attack, so pretty good attack. 5 for defense. He's got phase 2 clone armor, and there's his combat trees. And we've got our 501st. Now the 501st is only a 3 cost, right? So they're going to work pretty well. These guys are probably going to go with Anakin Skywalker quite often due to their cost. And they're a supporting unit. You will also have 2 of the 501st. They have defensive maneuver, coordinated fire, brothers in arms, and their 501st, clone trooper, Galactic Republic, and troopers. And then this is their stance card. This is their advanced combat training. Definitely better in ranged than in melee. So they definitely want to stay a little bit at a distance if can. Their melee is pretty weak. Look at that. Look at that expertise chart. They just have 1 for bash. So they don't want a melee. For sure. Okay, let's move on to our bad guys, starting with, you know him, I know him, I love him, you love him, Lord Maul. Lord Maul, let's flip him over first. He comes with 8. He can lead Mandalorians like crazy. He can lead the Blue Mandalorians. He can lead Clan Kree's Mandalorians if you want. He's got a way. He's got sway over Mandalorians. He's only going to give you 3 force points. He's also a primary unit. And this is meant to be Lord Maul, not Darth Maul from like episode 1, but more like Maul rehabilitated and more evil than ever from the Clone Wars, especially the later Clone Wars. All right, so he's going to have 4 speed. There is no place to run. Revenge. I must have revenge. Kenobi! He doesn't have a Kenobi card, right? Well, maybe Old Maul will have that. Maybe they'll do an Old Maul at some point. He's a Dathomirian. He's Force User, Scoundrel, and Shadow Collective. He's got, as a primary, he's got 2 different stances. So we'll start with his Sinister Cunning. This is a little more defensive. He's got 6 and 6, 7 for his ranged. Is he doing? He's throwing his lightsaber. It's a thrown lightsaber. I see. Oh, okay. So maybe this is more offensive. I don't know. I guess it's more range. They don't always have to be offensive versus defensive. They're just different strategies. Gosh, he can do how much? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He can do 10 damage in this one, so that's pretty significant. And he's got some good defensive expertise as well. We flip this one over. Very robust chart. A lot of decisions to make in this one. Dark Rage. He's got 7 for melee. He's using the double-bladed lightsaber. and he can do quite a bit of damage here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 there also. So yeah, he's a damage dealer for sure. All right, let's take a look at Gar Saxon. Gar Saxon is a secondary, and he's going to be 4 points. And here he is, Merciless Commander. Let's flip him over. He's got Pride of Mandalore, Jetpack, Mandalorians are stronger together. I've got you in my sights, and Pack Hunter, again, working with other Mandalorians, giving you different build options. It doesn't just have to be bad guys versus good guys. It certainly can be, and that's certainly thematic. But you could unite Mandalore and try to have maybe, in this course, that I could see Maul and Ahsoka teaming up together with all of the Mandalorians, united. That would make for a really cool build. Really cool build. He's got Concentrated Assault, 6 attack for range 5. He's got that sniper rifle, 7 attack for melee. He's pretty good, but not the best defense, right? Only 4, so he could potentially go down fairly quick. There's his damage charts and his Beskar armor. All right, we've got the Mandalorian Super Commandos. They're also a 4-point unit, and their support, you're going to have 2 different ones. Again, they are going to be Mandalorians, Shadow Collective, Super Commando, and Trooper. So that is going to work. Now, these aren't going to work well under Captain Rex, because they have none or virtually none of the keywords that he's going to be looking for, right? So a lot of clones aren't going to really care too much about these guys unless they have something that references Trooper. I don't see too many clones helping out Mandalorians, Shadow Collectives, or Super Commandos. So these keywords here are going to be really important hooks to tie other game mechanics into. The Super Commandos have 6 and then 5, so just a moderate, not crazy offense, but moderate defense, especially in melee. They've got the Beskar armor, and they've got the 5 dice there. But they're a support unit, so they're not really supposed to be super strong. Talk about strong. Let's talk about Asajj Ventress, the Sith Assassin. She's going to have 3 force, 8 squad points here. 8 squad points. Very cool stuff. And you're seeing a different type of synergy because she doesn't have the 7 like Anakin does, right? So Anakin's a little different, which is kind of cool. She's Dathomirian, Force User, Night Sister, and Separatist Alliance, which is kind of the cool thing about her is that she's Dathomirian like Maul is Dathomirian. So, they're doing Mother Talzin eventually also. So there's a lot more stuff around the corner to expand these even more, which is very cool. She is a primary, so she's going to have 2. She's going to have her Makashi, which is going to be 7 attack, 6 and 5 for defense for ranged, but no ranged attack. A lot of criticals on her twin lightsabers here, which is really cool. And, here's her chart. A lot of choices if you go downwards, right? So pretty cool. And then she has Jarkai, which is going to be a little more offensive here with 8 attack dice and melee. I like it. And that's a really cool aggressive defense, canceling crits as well. We have Kalani, a super tactical droid. And this one is kind of cool. He is a 5-point secondary. A 5-point secondary, which means currently you would not be able to run him with Anakin because you would need a 2-point support, and there currently is not one, right? So it means you're if you want to mix and match these a little bit, you could potentially run him with Ahsoka, potentially. If after all, she's Jedi no more, so I could see her potentially working with this. Maybe who's the guy, Lux Bonteri? Maybe he talks to her a little bit into coming and having a meeting with Kalani, and she realizes this is something for the greater good, or there's all kinds of ways that you can work this out. So he's got Roger, Tactical Network, Target, Concentrate All Firepower, Battle Droid, and Battle Droid supporting characters. He is a Battle Droid, a Droid, and Separatist Alliance. As a secondary, he's only going to have 1 card again. So he's got Cold Logic. Not the best defense there, but he does have a pretty good ranged attack pool there, especially at range 5 too. He's got long range, decent, pretty good attack pool. Not the best expertise though, right? If you're seeing that, he's got a little bit of defensive expertise with self-preservation. But I guess if he gets two expertise, then he can get 3 damage out of it. So maybe you get a little bit of that. That's pretty cool. or I should say 3 successes out of it. And then we've got, last but not least, well, actually, yeah, last but least, is going to be our B1 battle droids. They are a 3-piece, and that is going to work with Kalani, who's a 5 and a 3. That means they are naturally going to go together really well for any character who's got an 8-point threshold. So you can do this with Maul, you can do this with Asajj, or you can do this with Ahsoka currently. All right, so we got they're a supporting unit. You're going to get 2 minis. Now, each of those minis is going to have 3 on a base, I believe. So there you go. Once they're all assembled, we'll take a look at that. That could be fun. And I wonder if some folks might want to change things up a little bit, like put 4 on one base and 2 on another and do some crazy stuff like that. You know, you can customize this stuff however you want. You can customize your basing materials, and, you know, building them is half the fun. Playing with them is the other half. All right, so they got combat AI protocols. Well, guess I'm in charge now. I hate this job. Gosh, I love B1s. They're the funniest stuff in Star Wars. Like, just the dialogue of the B1 battle droids is some of the best stuff ever. They're B1. They're battle droids, Separatist Alliance, and Trooper. Cool thing about these guys that I really like about them is look how many keywords they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different keywords. So they're going to fit into so very many different builds because of their keywords. They're going to have synergy with a lot more stuff in the future. I think that's groovy. All right, and they have countless. There's just they're trying to overwhelm you. Their stats aren't particularly great. They're terrible in melee. Only 3 defense dice in melee. So, you know, if you can get in range with them, you might be able to cut them down very quickly. But they have long range attack, 7 dice. You know, they have a moderate, they have a respectable ranged attack too. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's the B1 battle droids, and I think that's all of our cards. All right, you guys, that has been our first look, quick unboxing of Star Wars Shatterpoint. Well, maybe not too quick. We certainly took our time going through all the cards and all the bits. But there is plenty more videos to come. If you like what you see here, I definitely encourage you to stick around. I want to thank you all so much. Also, huge thank you to Atomic Mass Games for sending this out for review. This was a review copy, and it was awesome of them to make this possible. So thank you to AMG and Asmodee for shipping this out and giving us a first look at it, so that hopefully I can start creating some excellent content that you guys are looking forward to. Let me know what you want to see down in the comment section. I will talk to you later. Make sure you're also checking out all the, like the video, share the video, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, click that bell for alerts so you don't miss out when new content comes out. I will talk to you later. Hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend and just a wonderful day, and keep gaming, keep rolling dice, keep having fun. And I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. The spice must flow. So say we all. Party on, dudes. And cowabunga. I'll see you later.